Out on a contract climbing job, and it's not a big tree, it's nothing super exciting, but the stump is going to be a little bit of a challenge, and so I wanted to bring you along and show you how we end up doing it. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how we're going to end up doing it, but we'll see, I guess. But here's what we got. We got these two Norway maple trees. They're grown in the same stump, more or less, and there's this probably 3-inch or so diameter steel pole as well grown in to that stump. It's nice and tall. It goes up there to like a little reducer fitting, and then it looks like this was another part of the pole that was threaded into the top and is now broke off, and as you can see up there, it is just being supported by the wire that it was supporting. It's just a communications wire, and so that's definitely been that way for a long time. But I'm sure that wire's under a good bit of stress, and anything we do to it is not going to help it stay up there. But it looks like that wire's got really long span too, naturally, so that'll be fun. It looks like we got a couple little wires out here in the street. It's just going to be a little bit of a tricky day today, that's for sure. But anyhow, we'll kick you along for a ride, and I'll be sure to show you how we end up cutting this stump. Hopefully it's not a complete disaster. Alrighty guys, we're up to the tree here. It's just going to be a matter of cutting stuff off and throwing it to the right spot. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of rigging on this unit. Not really tall enough for it. But we'll see. See how it goes. You might see me hitting the chain brake a lot today. I'm trying to develop some new good habits. It's important to, at least it's important to me, to develop some good habits. I've allowed myself to develop some poor habits, and so I'm trying to develop some good ones. Anyhow, we're going to be using the chain brake a lot. We'll use it even though we're going to shut the saw off, because we want the chain brake to be on when we start the saw next time. That's the easiest way to make that happen. Nope, hold on to it. Yeah. I can't speak for everybody, but I try to use the handsaw for that kind of thing rather than a chainsaw. Not exactly great practice to cut next to your hand. This is kind of about the best way to position yourself on a spar that leans out. You put a lot of weight in your climbing rope. As you can see, it goes up to my tying point up there. Then you use your safety here, your landing, to keep you from falling away from the spar. And you kind of end up in the side position. That allows you to have good access to cutting, have your hands free, and not be trying to balance on the top side of the spar, which is the way at least I tried to do it originally. But I found this works much better. I think it's probably the standard way of doing things for the most part. Okay, that was getting a little bit ridiculous. I don't want to make a million cuts that size for this handsaw, so we'll use the chainsaw for the next one. You know, this spar is leaning, so we don't want to make a cut here and a cut here and risk it falling off under its own weight. We want to make a cut here and a cut here, and that'll be a little bit stronger and still give us the ability to break it off this direction. This Norway maple is pretty fragile, so it snaps real easy. My touch up good enough, and so it broke a little early. Alright, so we got some of the easier stuff done. Now we're going to go out, and there's this wire that runs from this pole all the way down to the pole in the corner there, and we're going to go out on these limbs, and we're going to cut the limbs beyond the wire, so that way they'll fall on that side. Then I'll come back to where there's a small piece that's right over the wire that I can cut with a handsaw and throw away. And then we'll go cut the last piece off here. So that's the technique we're going to use in this scenario. There really isn't enough vertical space here to rig these things appropriately out of here. You know, if we really wanted to, we could get like the GRCS out or something and lift them all the way up after we cleared out all the stuff above it. I don't think that makes sense for us today time-wise, so it's not what we're going to do. But anyhow, yeah, let's crawl out there. Oh, that's not what we wanted. There we go. Okay, we'll cut that until it's about ready to break. Break it off. It'd be nice to our ground man. Throw it right in the trailer for him. And then after that we can cut bigger pieces off back there. That is just not good practice. I am not thrilled with that. Now, ideally, on a limb walk, the thing you should be doing, which I think I can do it now, is this. You should be sitting in your rope, and you should have your lanyard around the tree and around you, just like on a leaning spar like I showed you earlier, but when it's more horizontal, it gets much trickier. But this puts me in a much better position, a much more stable position for cutting. The challenge was that out there I should have just bucked up and done it. It gets really hard to lean out when your rope angle gets hard. It puts a lot of force in your spikes. But it's much safer. I really wish I would have done it. That was really lame. So looking back and just thinking about this here, that was super unprofessional to sit on a limb like that, and I really wish I hadn't done it just because it wasn't safe. You know, hindsight's always 20/20, so it's just important to recognize when we did something that was less than perfect, or less than great, I guess, at least, and recognize how we can fix it next time. So next time I will do whatever I need to avoid that. you should too. Don't be doing no sitting and cutting. It's not good. Not a good idea. Very nice. We want to go down and work on this limb that lays on the wire down there, and it is laying on it. It's in contact with it already. So we don't want to put a ton of weight on that limb, at least any more than we have to. So what we're going to do is I cut this stub off here. We're going to redirect our rope and hopefully improve our rope angle down to that limb rather than from all the way over there at our other tie-in point. So we can do that. And I've got a fairly short tail that I'm working with today, because I'd like to keep short tails in tight trees. There we go, we're ready to go. Yeah, I bet. Cut that one a little too close. It's a little unstable. Not heavy enough. Oh, hit it.
Not right setup.
Oops. Alrighty, so now we get into the very urban part of this. This whole pipe that broke off of that pipe is just hanging on these wires, and so while I'm here and I've got the stuff and everything, I'm just going to cut the pipe. There we go. I guess I should have cut the top off before the bottom. That was a dum-dum. But let's see if we can cut this off. I don't know, if it moves around too much, I might just leave it. I just want to get some weight off this wire. Yeah, we'll try this here. Man, that thing's heavy. Of course, the blade quit spinning to hang it. There's no chain brake on this thing, surprisingly. Alright, now we'll take it down to the ground. Oh wait, just a second, that'd be sweet. Alright, so we've got the only 2 big branches we can take from this thing left, which is nice. So I'm going to cut this one off here, we'll plop it down in the parking lot right there, clean it up, and then we'll plop this one down in the same place. I think it's better to do that than plop them both down, just to make the groundwork a little bit easier. So it's always a pain when you got stuff stacked on top of stuff. So here we go. Nice. Ready? Nice. So we're up here at the top of the tree. This is the last foot of brush that's in the whole tree. We got our tying point up there. We got all that stuff laid out over there. We'll be able to fill that last piece kind of into the spot where the trailer is sitting now. We're going to pull it forward. So we're going to tip this brush out that way towards the retaining wall. And then we'll chunk this down in a little bit of itty bitty pieces so we're not tearing up the concrete down there. And then once we get down to the thick part, we'll cut one chunk off to get it below the wire, and then we'll be able to tip the rest over. We'll probably make a cushion for that with some of the logs and stuff. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Almost done here. I think it's right around noon or something. Kind of took our time and did this one at a nice comfortable pace, which is nice. Nice to be able to do that this time of year. I made an error there. I cut my hinge all the way off before it swung far enough, so that's why the butt slipped off of here. It's important not to do that. If it would have caught that wire, it probably would have pulled it off the house. So that was a no-no. I got too excited there. There you go, from tree to trailer. Alright, so I took a chainsaw and I cut a relief in here as much as I possibly could so we're not smoking through the wood with this thing, because the wood will burn and plug up the pores on the abrasive wheel, and that kind of heeds the cutting process. So we did burn a little bit up here and it worked, but I don't think we'll be able to do it for everything down here. So there's probably going to be a little bit back and forth, this saw, chainsaw, etc., etc. But we'll do the best we can. So here goes. Alrighty, there's a little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little ring of kind of a dirty spot on there. And use that to help us judge our depth. I am just past the ring down there, so looks like we're getting close, but not all the way there. Alright, so we cut until there was no more sparks, just blue smoke. So I think we're all the way through the pipe. It'd be sweet if we could knock that pipe loose and get it out. Let's give that a try quick. It'll relieve some pressure when we did that.
Yeah, watch out.
Don't hit the truck.
Alright, watch out. Now, smack that. There you go. There.
Ha-ha!
There you go. You guys are camera.
There you go, there's your trophy.
Yeah, there's your trophy, brother.
Alrighty, well, we chipped away at it and cut away at it, and you can see kind of here how close we were willing to cut with the chainsaw, and it was kind of sketchy, but we didn't hit the pole with the chainsaw, which worked out sweet. We did a final cut there with the partner saw, that guy, just to make sure that we didn't leave something sharp protruding out of the stump. You know, the stump is supposed to have a gas line run under it, but they didn't use us for the stump grinding, so. Which I'm thankful for. I don't want to mess with this thing, but I'm sure somebody will have to, so hopefully it's not completely unbearable for them, but I'm sure it won't be fun. Well, it goes deeper than that. Oh, it's full of water too, yum. These 3 wires in here suggest that maybe this was like a light pole of some sort that got second purposed for the telephone wire up there. But yeah, its life is over now. So alrighty, thanks for watching. Hope you had an enjoyable experience. I enjoyed this tree a good bit. It was good fun. Thank you, Michael, for hiring me today, and we'll see you guys all again next time.